So anyway, going back to the choices. So actually running, and I was listening to a new book, pretty good book, and remind me of a couple of things. And this book is talking about choices also in our life, and being more essential, focusing on more essential things. And you know, funny is I'm behind over here, wellness center, so I decided to stop over here, right? So that's pretty good. So how this talk has to do with choices have to do with wellness. Well, it has everything to do with wellness. So actually, it also reminded me of a story of a client of mine, a former client of mine. And so she was going through my blood sugar program at the time, and she was doing so well. She was doing great. I mean, she actually reversed her prediabetes just like I did by following my guidelines in my program. But I remember one day she showed up and she's like, "Maria, I screwed up." And I said, "What do you mean?" She says, "I screwed up." And I says, how did you screw it up?" And it says, "Well, I ate pretzels." And I says, "Okay." And it says, "You know, Maria, the thing is, I don't even like pretzels." And I said, "So why did you eat pretzels?" And I says, "I don't know." So we go on, and she continues to say, "I don't know, I don't know, I don't know." And eventually I start, you know, poking some questions and, you know, making her reflect on what could be the reasons for her to do something that she doesn't even appreciate. And I said, "You chose actually to go to the aisle of pretzels, right?" And I'm not condemning pretzels over here, but she was very dedicated. She knew how much pretzels were increasing her blood sugar every time she ate. But she didn't even like pretzels, right? That's the thing. So she says, "No, no, no." And I says, "Yes, yes." So you know, in order for you to get to the aisle of pretzels, you actually have to go through the supermarket and go to these aisles full of junk food. And I am sure, because I knew her quite well, that she must have picked up, and I says, "I'm sure that you picked up that bag of pretzels and you look at the nutritional label," because I taught her how to read nutritional labels too, you know, look into the nutrition of foods. And I says, "Didn't you do that?" "Yes, I did." "So what made you choose to buy that and eat that?" You know, and she was feeling so conscious about it that she told me, and that first of all, she trusted me because she knew I was not going to condemn her, but really dive into the essence of why she was choosing to do something, you know, that she really actually didn't want to do in the first place, and knew that was not going to serve her well, right? That's the other thing. So we end up going back to, eventually in that conversation, discovering what it was. She was bored. Not that she was bored with what she was eating, but she was bored with life. She was lacking contentment. She had just retired, right? And she did not serve anybody anymore. You know, in the corporate world, you know this, most of you are still working. I used to be in corporate. I worked like a maniac all the time, you know. But I work like a maniac now. It's just different purposes, right? I have a different purpose for me, a different meaning. And I always loved what I did in corporate too, and I love even more what I do now. You know, says maybe the thing is to volunteer. Maybe it is to give some of all this knowledge and passion that you have, you know, to some other people. You know, go to organizations, find that. So I'm giving you this example because this happens all the time. A lot of the people who I work with, they're bored. They're bored. They're eating because they're bored. They're drinking because they're bored. They're lacking purpose. And that the choices that they actually are not aware that they're making is really impacting their health, right? So when we talk about weight loss, which I talk quite a bit, you know, and building the body that you want, you know, and having that mental clarity, right, and really feeling good, it's about choices. Everything is just choices. Look, we might not have control about the options that are given to us, but we do have the choice to do something about the options that we have, right? So that's what my message is for you today. So if there is something in your health and your wellness and your fitness that you're not happy about it, you know, some habit that kind of, you know, you're getting into it that's not really serving you well, or a habit that you really want to do better because you know that it's gonna improve the quality of your life, I want you to think about the choices. You and I, and everybody in this world over here who are mentally sane and capable. I'm saying this because there are some people who have mental diseases and are not in that same level. Unfortunately, we have choices. And a lot of times when I confront in a kind way with people, you chose that, and they say no, and I says, yes, you did. In anything, we choose to go to a meeting, we choose to answer the phone, we choose to go to a bar and drink, we choose to, eat unhealthy, we choose to be around people that might not be serving us well. We choose about everything. We choose. So let's become choosers, right? And choose what is serving you well. Right? So this month, and if you don't receive my newsletters, you're welcome to receive. Every month I pick a theme. Last month was a theme of habits. This month is metabolism. So we're gonna also do a challenge too. So look, in order for us to increase and have a great metabolism, there's many things that are outside our control, right? But there's many things that is actually in our control, and it's our choice to do them. So a couple of things, that are in our choice that improve our metabolism is actually exercise, is fitness, right? Especially when we're talking about strength training, high intensity training. Not everybody can do them, but there is different levels of high intensity training, right? And there's always ways that we can do resistance training and strength training. Our choice of foods, very, very important. Our choice of hydration, very, very important. Our choice of managing stress. Our choice of sleeping more, right? And sometimes some people sleep for a long period of time, but the quality of sleep is poor. All those things that I mentioned, we have choices here, right? And all of those things impact our metabolism, which is gonna impact the quality of our aging process, which is gonna impact our ability to lose weight or maintain weight, right? Or even gain weight. Some people need to gain weight. Right, it's going to improve the quality of how our hormones and neurotransmitters are working. It's going to improve even the quality of sleep. So it's kind of a circle over here. It's a snowball that when get out of control, it really becomes out of control, right? So these things, right, that I mentioned, from nutrition to exercise to sleep and stress, these are things that there's many things in there we can control. Another example. Actually, the same client, fast forward actually several years after, that, we're discussing about stress. She's mentioning, how stressful has been, yada, yada. And she says, my day started terrible. And I said, what happened? And she says, there was some incident with, I remember it was American Express, whatever happened. And she had to talk to American Express. She was really upset, And I said, did you have to answer the phone? Because she knew that was saying American Express. She knew the phone call was going to be a terrible phone call, okay, because this was going on for a while. And she says, did you have to answer that at 9 a.m. when you're beginning of your day? She's like, no, I didn't have to, but I have to. And I says, you didn't have to. You chose to pick up the phone. You chose to speak with that, whoever customer service that you knew was going to kind of ruin potentially your day. It says you could have chosen to not pick up the phone, call them back when was a better time that is like, okay, you go on, you feel in control, you start your day with a positive note, you did your meditation, you did your exercise, you did your things, you're feeling well. So then with that mental clarity and you're prepared for that call, then you choose to make the phone call. So you see, folks, in that case, it's like this stress she brought in early in the morning, and that ruined her day. It ruined her day because we're talking this, it was in the afternoon, right? Choose, because let me tell you, stress is devastating for our metabolism. Stress is devastating for our weight. Stress is devastating for our digestive system, which is going to impact the ability to break down foods that is going to digest and us actually get the nutrients out of those foods that we eat, right, into eventually our cells. Stress is terrible for our steroid hormones, estrogen, testosterone, progesterone, and all that. And I can go on and on and on. Okay? So let's choose. So today the message is choice. Choose, the things that there's options. Make the choices that you know that you're in control of them, and they're going to lead you to a better outcome. Remember, take ownership of your answers. Take ownership of what the direction things are going, because most likely you and I have that choice, okay, to take one step forward or one step back, right? And a lot of times we take backwards because one choice leads to the other that is not in a positive way. But we can always, that's the good thing, right? We can always make a better choice right now. Right now. You can do that. Just like today, my anniversary, I decided to celebrate, right? Going for a long run. So I got about 3 miles in, and I'm far away from home. So I'm gonna hang up over here with you, and I'm going to continue my run. And so that was my message to you. And if you have any questions about that, fire away. If you're interested in staying in touch about these discussions about the metabolism, and I'll be doing also a challenge, a 5-day challenge on metabolism. Sign up for my newsletters. Go to my website at the bottom of bfabu.com. You can sign up for my newsletter if you're not receiving it, or you can ask for me to put the link of this newsletter, how to sign up over here. And that's it, all right? Or stay tuned to my blog, but receiving on your email is probably better, so I'm right there in your face. And there's a lot of great things to do and to share with you this month of July about metabolism and how it impacts our health and wellness. All right? Take care, folks. Love you. And have a happy, if I don't talk to you before, happy 4th of July and happy anniversary to America. Take care. Bye.